deceitful.
Santa Fe, New Mexico. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm just wondering, do you think if anything else is going to happen throughout the United States?
Why do you ask, caller?
Because I'm just wondering if something else is going to happen, like if something's going to happen in like Los Alamos or something, because they're hitting like pretty major things.
Thanks, caller. Port Waimea, California. Good morning to you.
Hey, you know, this is a sign to America. We think that we're the strongest country in the world, and they hit us, and they just knew where to hit us. And this is unreal that something like this could happen in our country.
Lansing, Michigan. Good morning.
Good morning. We really don't know what has happened. We need to be calm. We need to find out who the perpetrators are. And when we find out, as a nation, we need to strike back hard and put this kind of action to an end.
Thanks for the call. According to the Associated Press, a senior U.S. intelligence official speaking on the condition of anonymity said, "We don't know who's doing it. Clearly it's terrorism-related, a carefully coordinated attack. It's not the work of an unsophisticated enemy. It's too soon to say who." Bennington, Vermont, good morning.
Hi, yes, good morning. This is Karen from Bennington, Vermont. This is a real heartful situation for us Americans. I hope we do come together as a nation at this moment. But the other thing which I was wondering is this hijacking that came from Boston, what happened with the people in the Logan Airport that could have prevented this, or did anybody know of any particular situation, you know, of this? And, you know, this obviously came from Boston in flight to New York City. What was happening? Couldn't we have prevented something during the meantime?
Issues that are all being looked into at this moment. Bloomington, Indiana, good morning.
Yes.
Good morning, caller.
This is Nina. Well, all I feel is we should strong our military. That's why they are doing, because they think we are not able to do, and our leader is not caring enough about the country, so they can do anything they want.
Thanks, caller. You're seeing some of the people leaving Capitol Hill. The U.S. Capitol has been evacuated. There will not be legislative business today in either the House or the Senate, and other government buildings also have been evacuated, including the West Wing of the White House. Next call is Huntington Beach, California, with your reaction. Good morning.
Wake up, America. We've been waiting for this. Everyone knows it's been coming on. I just hope that we take appropriate action, and I hope that our government realizes that we can't be everything to everybody. And I thank you for letting us speak.
Thank you. Next from Washington State, good morning.
Yes, I hope that the country realizes that we need to stand up and take care of this. We got to find out who did it, find out where they're at, go and take care of it. Make them pay for what they've done, people who've died. I hope that the families are, best wishes to the families, and thank you.
Thank you. Oak Ridge, Tennessee, good morning with your reaction. Good morning, caller. Where are you phoning from?
Hi, I'm actually from Tumwater, Washington.
Go ahead.
Hi, I'd like to say, first off, yes, we did know that this was going to happen. We've been doing some horrible things all over the country, all over the world for a really, really long time, and it's time to hopefully shake up the American public so that we'll start paying attention to what our politicians and what our business people are doing all over the globe, and to who. Osama bin Laden, I think we've been persecuting him and trying to get him and kill him for a really long time. I think it probably has something to do with that.
Thanks, caller. Bend, Oregon, good morning.
Good morning. I'd just like to say that people are talking about the past and the future, but I think the Americans right now need to embrace and think about the right now, and we need to definitely be careful out there and just watch out for these crazy people.
Thanks very much. You can see some of the folks on the roof of government buildings here in Washington, and as we've been saying, security much tighter over the last couple of hours. Next from Georgia, good morning. You're on C-SPAN.
Yes.
Go ahead, caller.
Yes. I just think that we need to quit bashing Bush. We are a country. We need to remember, united we stand and divided we fall.
Thanks for the call. Another call from Washington State. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you? Can I talk now?
You sure can.
Okay, fine. Yeah. My name is Scott, and I spent 1 month in Israel. And bombings like this are an almost daily occurrence. Israeli citizens are being shot at by terrorists on a daily basis. And every time the Israeli Defense Forces wants to go into the occupied territories called the West Bank or Judah Samaria, the United States has stopped them. Had the Israeli army been able to go in, perhaps this couldn't, this would not have occurred. And this is a wake-up call to the United States that terrorism must be fought at all costs. And every nation, Israel, the United States, even the Arab countries, have a right to defend themselves against terrorism.
Thanks, caller. This is a view from the 14th Street Bridge. As you can see, some Pentagon workers evacuating the building, which was hit earlier this morning here in the Washington, D.C. area. And as you know full well by now, 2 planes that crashed in the World Trade Center. Next call from South Lake Tahoe, California. Good morning.
Hi. I used to live right there. I just moved back to California. I lived right up in Montgomery County. Is this not exactly what Joe Biden just said yesterday?
Thanks very much for the call. Let's just recap what we know right now as far as official Washington. The White House, the U.S. Capitol, the Pentagon, the State Department, and other government buildings have been evacuated. In Chicago, the Sears Tower has been evacuated. Also, we're told that 395, which is a major artery between Washington, D.C. and Northern Virginia, has been shut down because of what's happened at the Pentagon. There is no indication on injuries or fatalities as a result of what's happened, but clearly there have been many deaths involved based on what's happened in New York and Chicago. Our role here to get your reaction. New York City, good morning.
Hello. This is from New York City, and I'm very sorry to say that the golden age of our country being absolved from all damage is over. We must wake up and fight terrorism at all costs, because if we allow small, petty tyrants to take their way with us, we will never win out as a people.
Thanks, caller. Knox, Indiana, you're next. Good morning to you.
Good morning. I believe, although maybe wrongly, that a lot of people think we are with the Jewish nation too much, and that is probably not true, but that's how they think. And I also feel that the media should stop worrying about who's dating whom and get busy and let us know what is going on in this country. As someone said earlier on your program, we need to know more about business and what the politicians are doing.
Thanks, caller. Next is Norfolk, Virginia. Good morning.
Yes, my name is Kenneth Parks. I was a sailor on the USS Cole, so I'm kind of used to this type of stuff. What I like to say is, the Navy right now, we're beefing up security and trying to learn from, past experiences. And this is just basically a wake-up call to let everybody know that, it's always going to be some type of threat out there, and we got to basically just keep on our toes and, move on. Because I've experienced a lot, I lost a lot of friends, and my regrets go out to all the families and stuff.
Thanks, caller. Next is Hardin, Kentucky. Good morning.
Good morning. I just wanted to say that we are not invincible as a nation, but what we need to do is stop criticizing politicians and our leaders and stand behind them. There's too many people already criticizing what's going on instead of just standing firm and doing what we need to do.
Thanks very much. We're going to listen in to New York One, which is a news station out of New York City, on the situation at the World Trade Center.
Airplane, but we do know that the FAA has responded by halting all flights across the nation.
And interestingly, there was word that it was transmitted somehow from the plane to, I guess, air traffic controllers that it had been a hijack. And there was no word on the wires prior to this that a plane had been hijacked.
And again, I'm hesitant to get too far into the speculation here, but I would think it unlikely that any commercial pilot would steer his plane into the World Trade Center. He'd more likely crash the plane into the harbor, even if there was a gun to his head. And you've got to wonder if this was organized enough that the hijackers actually had someone capable of flying the airplane, because these are 3 clearly deliberate targets, one World Trade Center, two World Trade Center, and the attack at the Pentagon. This is the live picture where you saw two World Trade Center towers standing only an hour ago, and just one of them remaining.
And again, one of the most disconcerting things is to think about the organization that must have been in place, the infrastructure to, if in fact this is a terrorist attack, to have set up such a disaster of such magnitude.
The Pentagon, as we mentioned, the third target of these terrorist attacks this morning. We have video from Washington of the Pentagon shortly after this attack on the Pentagon. The Federal Aviation Administration, at that point, it was clear that this was to be a threat not just on the city of New York, but on Washington as well. This is a live picture now of the fire that is burning at the Pentagon. An Associated Press reporter who was at the Pentagon, Dave Winslow, says he could see the tail of a large airliner as it plowed into the Pentagon, and that fire there in Washington continues to burn. This came only a few minutes after the double disaster at the World Trade Center. As we recap this, there is very little movement into or out of Manhattan because of subway closures, PATH train closures, bridge and tunnel closures, and this is the heart of the reason for that. The explosion, well, first of all, the crash, then the second crash, and subsequently the structural failure and massive explosion that brought down to World Trade Center and sent debris raining down on a huge part of Lower Manhattan.
And Pat, I'm just hearing word that a car bomb has exploded outside the State Department in Washington, according to a senior law enforcement official as well. We have no more details on that, but of course, we will bring them to you as soon as they become available.
And that's an update on the situation from New York 1 in New York City, where you can see on your screen the bombing attack, the planes that crashed into the World Trade Center. Our phone lines are open. Your reaction. Spring Lake, Michigan, good morning.
Hi. I know you get lots of phone calls, so I'm going to make this brief. But my brother's in the Marine Corps, and he's overseas, and he's a specialist in terrorist training. And I've been getting phone calls from California, where his wife lives, and she's also in the Marine Corps. And everyone over there is worried and concerned, and I just want to say that if we could pray for the military men who are over there and their families that are here. I mean, we're just all in a state of panic, and we're just really concerned for all the men over there.
Thanks. And as you heard just a moment ago from New York 1 and the Associated Press confirming that there has been a car bomb which exploded outside the State Department, according to senior law enforcement officials. That again from the AP. Next is a call from Douglas, Georgia. Good morning.
Yes, sir. What I've been wondering is why we put our main things so high up in the air where it's visible and not hide it where, I mean, really nobody can see it. I mean, that just puts this plane out in the open just to get rid of it. Just tell them that we bad and just put it in there.
Austin, Texas. You're on C-SPAN.
Hello. Am I on?
Yes, go ahead, please.
I look at this as it's just an act of war. We need to find out who it is and go after them. Very simple.
Thanks. Seattle, Washington, good morning to you.
Yes, hello. I just wanted to say that I think I want to extend my sympathy to the people on the plane who were hijacked and to the pilots and that and their families. That I think that the United States, that we as a nation need to, we've been through a lot, and this is just one more challenge, that we need to remain free, keep doing our good works around the world, and to find who did this, and to take appropriate action as soon as possible. Thank you.
As you're seeing on your screen, the second tower of the World Trade Center has just collapsed. Next call is St. Louis. Good morning.
Good morning. I would like to say to the nation, let us unite in prayer on one accord. You know, God is in control, and we have nothing to do with it. Man can do nothing without him. Not bash one another, but come together, united as one nation, and pray. Thank you.
Thanks for the call. Tallulah, Louisiana, good morning.
Hi. I know a few callers probably have already spoken to this, but I just wanted to say that
something far worse happened to our country back in December, that is, than what we're witnessing